But what seems clear to me is that some strange shit is going on as Thoreau writes up his encounters on the embankment. As if on an LSD trip, very ordinary things, his nose, ivy, some clay and sand in a ditch, detach from their usual context to reappear, to use Dieterichson's description of psychedelic experience, to reappear as sublime ridiculous. Each entity dilates and blurs at its edges to enter a dripping cosmic morphology, which seems more consistent with Branca's depiction of Thoreau's use of rolling analogies. What happens to the nose, ivy, clay, sand, and water also happens to the letters of the alphabet that Thoreau is using to write it up. Conscious of what he says is a, quote, slight insanity in his mood, Thoreau now sees the letters of the word lobe as themselves iterations of that globe drop shape. He writes, the radicals of lobe are LB, the soft mass of the B, single lobed, or B, or capital B, double lobed, with the liquid L pressing behind it pressing forward. It's such a weird idea, I have a hard time reading it. Okay, so he's conscious of a slight insanity of his mood. He's been seeing the prototypes of the drops all over the place. And now he sees the letters of the word lobe as themselves iterations of the glob drop shape. Quote, the radicals of the lobe are LB, the soft mass of the lowercase b, single lobed, or uppercase b, double lobed, with the liquid L behind it pressing it forward. Okay, the last section, and then I'll stop, is called Winged Thoughts. At the embankment, Thoreau's thoughts, affected by natural influences in that subtle, ethereal, under-the-radar way, his thoughts take flight. He writes, you find in the very sands an anticipation of the vegetable leaf. The leaf sees its prototype in the shape of a moist, thick lobe. The ball of the human finger is but a drop congealed. The chin is a still larger drop, the confluent dripping of the face. What is man but a mass of thawing clay? End quote. So natural influences emanating from the sandy slope alongside the railroad, as well as from the shape of his nose and the letters of the alphabet, start to loosen the grip of ordinary perception. New perceptions arise, and so do winged thoughts, which, quote, like birds, do not tolerate too much handling. Okay, so Thoreau's thoughts, in the presence of natural influences, they leap and overshoot, and his account of the thawing bank is both overdone and also elusive. But he takes these to be virtues, to overdo things, and to exaggerate, and also to be somewhat elusive. He takes those to be virtues. In a journal entry on Christmas Day in 1851, he contrasts explanations that are governed by the understanding with the truer discipline of a writer who takes, quote, the faintest intimations and the least film of thought that floats in the twilight sky of his mind for his theme. I'm teaching a seminar this semester on Lucretius, who had this idea of simulacra, which are the sort of outer layer of the atoms of any formed thing that float around in the world and impact. They're taken in by the very fine pores of your body, and they impact your thinking. And it's interesting to me now here that Thoreau wrote in 1851 of the discipline of a writer who takes the faintest intimations and the least film of thought that floats in the twilight sky of his mind for his theme. End quote. The poet who allows his words to shoot beyond their mark drifts closer to the truth of things. He's better able to translate a natural influence whose efficacy is not linguistic into words.